Welcome to Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living with your host, Rosalind Sedaka. Join Rosalind each week on a journey toward overcoming life's many challenges to achieve peace, empowerment, and positive transformation. It's time to relax, unwind, and transform your life with Rosalind Sedaka.
Hello, everyone. This is Rosalind Sedaka, divorce and parenting coach and founder of the Child-Centered Divorce Network, and you are listening to WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network, and this show is Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living, and we focus on inviting experts around the world who have valuable information to share with our listeners on all facets of going through divorce, moving on after divorce and dating, and living a life that's fulfilling and works for you and your family. So today is no exception, and I'm very honored to have our guest today. His name is Gregory Wagner. And Gregory has an interesting background because he's a former Wall Street veteran and has a strong background in technology. But he's also a certified divorce financial analyst and has a certification in innovation and strategy from Harvard Business School and holds an MBA in finance from Fordham University. And Gregory has put together all of these interesting background experiences to create an app, a new app that is going to be of great value to anyone who is in the world of divorce and also others who are needing online scheduling help to make their life a smoother, easier process. So let me start by welcoming Gregory Wagner.
Thank you, Rosaline. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Well, thank you. So, Gregory, I have seen the app, and it has a very unusual name. So why don't we start by talking about that? What is the name of your app?
Sure. The name of the app is Moiety, M-O-I-E-T-Y. I get a lot of questions about the app's name. It's actually a real word in the dictionary. I was doing some research about branding and marketing, and I noticed the word moiety. Moiety was used a long time ago in the English language quite extensively. It means a half or a share or a part. And that sort of definition rang a bell to me as moiety is designed to help co-parents do their share or their part in co-parenting. And by the way, for whatever authority says it is, it happens to be one of the most beautiful sounding languages in the English dictionary. So those two reasons were why we started with the word and brand Moiety.
Wonderful. And it's certainly one, once you catch it and see it and hear it, you certainly remember that. So let's talk a bit about your background, because you have extensive experience in financial services, and I'm curious as to why you decided to create a co-parenting app of all things.
Yep, that's a fair point. It is quite a departure from my work experience. I spent almost a quarter of a century on Wall Street building products, and I was classically trained on strategic delivery and execution. So I used these skills to develop the Moiety app. It was a calling I couldn't ignore, to be honest with you. Through a very personal and real need of my own, I am in the process of finalizing a divorce and have two children, and was trying to find a useful tool to arrange co-parenting, be able to track and organize the schedule, which could be very complicated, especially during a time when, your head is spinning and it's difficult to concentrate, and wanted to have something quickly available to me to take care of the business of taking care of the children. And frankly, everything I saw online and on the app stores were inferior to what could be created. And that's why I developed Moiety. It was a calling. It was a calling I could not ignore. And to be honest with you, I was frankly appalled by some of the tools that the family courts are mandating families to download or to use that can cost up to $100 per person per year. And as you and I know, Rosaline, when you're getting divorced, you usually have about half the time and way less than half the money than you started with. So I really designed Moiety to be a simple tool to help co-parents track their co-parenting schedules. It will evolve over time with additional features. but at a cost that is reasonable. Right now, it's completely free. And so that's the background to the story.
Well, I'm very impressed with your story and with that factor, and I want our listeners to really get the fact that this is an online co-parenting scheduling tool that is free of charge, that has superior features to so many of the options that are available nowadays. And I want our listeners to understand as well that these scheduling tools have been shown, especially by the mental health community, to reduce conflict. Because what happens, and I know from experience with my own clients when coaching people either in the divorce process or co-parenting after their divorce, that once they get on the phone with one another, they may be starting the conversation with topic A, but one wrong word or one wrong intonation or tone, and suddenly you're talking about what happened last week or last month on topic B, C, or D. And suddenly the conflict erupts, and it's usually the same conflict that you were fighting about even during the marriage that's never quite been resolved. So in many cases, it helps for co-parents not to be directly on the phone and not to handle nitpicky little details that can be misunderstood, misconstrued, forgotten, overlooked, etc. And by using these tools and getting in the habit of regularly focusing on the tools and what's changing in them, you can avoid a lot of conflict, you could avoid a lot of errors and mistakes, and you also keep the kids out of being responsible. Tell Daddy that I'm going to be an hour late, so don't pick me up until 4, that kind of thing. We want to eliminate all of that, and a smartly designed tool can do all of that. So I'm very impressed with so much about the Moiety app. Why don't you tell us some of the things that are unique and different about Moiety compared to what's already been out there?
Absolutely. I think just following up on your point about the communication, the uniqueness about what I find very unique about Moiety, besides the flexibility, which we'll talk about in a minute, is that, as you mentioned, Rosaline, a lot of times when parents are going through this difficult process of divorce or separation, bad words are going to happen. Conversations can go bad. What Moiety does is it creates a neutral, sterile environment for the co-parenting process. So, so there's no texting on Moiety. What you do is you simply tap or click on an avatar or an icon to pick up the kids or drop off the kids, and the co-parent can actually see whether or not the parent has, accepted the invitation, declined the invitation, has not responded, without having to get the difficult part of texting and phone calls, because those bad words are going to happen, in my humble opinion. What we want to do is we want to separate the business of co-parenting and of taking care of the kids away from that emotional process as much as you can. Things do get worse and then things do get better. But through that whole time, we want to try to create a consistent, sterile, neutral environment for the co-parenting process. The business of co-parenting is a business. It's a process that, should not be, laid to waste or forgotten because you don't want to hear from your co-parent. Because that emotional attachment to the negative feelings can create a distraction around the co-parenting process. And in the end, children get affected. So Moiety is trying to create a sterile, neutral environment just for that co-parenting process, for the visitation process, so you have to think less, be less emotional about that process, and be more responsible and accountable for the co-parenting routine.
That's very well put, and I want to emphasize the fact I like the way you use the word neutral, because that's very important. We are so emotionally charged in the divorce process and in its aftermath that for some people especially, it's very hard to feel neutral anytime they're communicating with their former ex, and you want to not have your children pay the price for the consequences of a divorce. Your children are innocent, and so creating this neutral environment is very, very effective, and you've taken the triggers out, so you're much less likely to be misbehaving, so to speak, because everything is done in a more business-like professional way. And all divorce experts agree that if you focus the co-parenting in a more business-like setting and mindset, then you're more likely to be more effective as you go through the process. And remember that you are the CEOs and the corporation is about raising your children in the best possible manner and giving them the best childhood they can have, and doing that without stress and conflict and fighting and all of the related negative consequences of that is really, really important. So this is a very useful tool on so many levels. We're going to discuss it in more depth as soon as we come back. Right now, I just want to remind you that you're listening to WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network. This is Rosalind Sedaka with Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio Channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Rosalind Sedaka, divorce and parenting coach, founder of the Child-Centered Divorce Network. You're listening to WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network, on divorce, dating, and empowered living. And our guest today is Gregory Wagner, who is the founder of the Moiety app, MOIETYAPP.com. And the Moiety app is a wonderful and free co-parenting tool that you can use online to schedule all facets of the co-parenting experience so that you have a smoother outcome for both parents and especially for the children. So Gregory, I was asking you about what makes Moiety unique and different, and you said there were some other factors you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the interesting factors, and we mentioned that Moiety doesn't really require texting or typing. It's more of a swipe and clicking, which is a much easier and faster way to communicate and create events. Another interesting aspect about Moiety is that it's not a divorce app, right? This is an app for every phase of your life. You can create any type of group, unlimited amount of group that we call crews on Moiety for any type of shared calendar event that you'd like. So obviously a clear and important crew would be a co-parenting crew where you add your co-parent, your kids. You can invite your kids if you like, or you can keep them away from that and keep that private. You can add babysitters and let them see only part of the calendar that you want them to see. But in addition, you can create a business crew, a fitness crew, my birthdays and anniversary reminders. There's an unlimited amount of flexibility around Moiety. So, if your kids see you download Moiety, they don't have to worry that it's a divorce app. It's not. My son uses Moiety to set up his Minecraft server meetings with his friends. So, it's an unlimited, flexible, it was designed for every phase of your life, and an unlimited amount of customized events and crews can be created so that as you evolve, the app will evolve with you. And the second thing that's interesting about Moiety is that we know if you invite somebody to join your crew, they'll see all of the events within that crew, but only that group. But we also know that not everyone wants to download apps, and you don't need everyone to download the app to participate in Moiety. And that's an important point. We know that other apps, you have to have everybody join the app to participate. And a lot of times there is resistance with family members or other people who are just not interested in downloading the app. It will still work for you if you want to use it, because Moiety allows you to send invitation emails right to any individual without them having to download the app, and they can respond whether or not they're attending or approve an event on the email, and you can go back into the app and see what their response was. So it's very flexible, unlimited amount of crews, unlimited amount of custom events you can create, custom places, custom actions. But in addition, you don't need everyone to join for it to work. And I think those two aspects make it quite unique.
That's very interesting. So when you say crew, you're talking about CREW, correct?
Yeah. That's our shared calendar group. We call them crews.
Okay, and so I'm just repeating what I heard you say, in that if someone doesn't want to actually download the app, you could still invite them to join that crew, that group, and they can participate by getting an email, responding back by email, and everyone in the crew is seeing that response, and so it works, and it has that broader flexibility for people as well.
That's right. Again, it's for every phase of your life. It's not a divorce app. It's for whether you're single, you're dating, you're married, you're separated, divorced, or remarried. All of those aspects work in Moiety. And I don't use any other application anymore. All of my errands, all of my business meetings, all of my co-parenting routines are all designated in different crews. In addition, you can just click any event automatically at the bottom of the event and add it to your iPhone calendar. So you have your Moiety crews, and then you can also add those events to your iPhone calendar so that you have everything synced. And I think that's also a useful tool. Another interesting aspect about Moiety is that it has a number of preset actions and notifications. And I think about these preset actions like in the way we cook a meal. You walk into a kitchen and you look at your stove, and there's a few ways that you can cook a meal. You can bake something, you can broil something, you can fry something, or microwave something. That's basically it. In Moiety, we know that there's preset notifications, preset actions that everyone mostly does. For example, we usually pick up somebody, we usually drop off somebody, or we meet somebody, or we have someone babysit the kids. Those preset actions are already set in there, and you can add any other action or any other event or any other place that you'd like for each designated crew, so that your repetitive events are very quickly executed, and you don't have to type in a number of different scenarios each time you create an event. I can create an event within 6 seconds. And some of them are repeatable, some of them are one-off. But once you set up your crew and you create your actions and events, you don't really have to touch the app after that. You just go ahead and schedule as much as you'd like. And so I think that flexibility really is advantageous to, really anyone who has a complicated schedule.
So you can customize it in a multitude of different ways that fit the way you live your life and the kinds of scheduling you do. And once it's in there, it's there, and then you just add to it and utilize it.
Exactly. That's right.
That's a very, very interesting and very valuable. So the Moiety app is useful for, obviously, if you're in the divorce and co-parenting world, but you could expand its use into other facets of your life, especially your working schedule and events and your social life and things along that line.
Yep, that's absolutely correct.
So what's next for Moiety? Are you continually adding and expanding new services?
Absolutely. Let me just say that Moiety defines me. We're 100% into this application. It's only been live for about 2.5 months, and we've gotten great reviews. We have downloads all around the world. We're currently working extensively on the Android launch. We expect to be launching a version in Google Play in about 6 weeks. We're testing now. Since we've launched, we've already taken about 15 requests from users to upgrade, edit, add different sorts of functionality within the app. We've actually answered almost every single request and have added those upgrades and functionality changes in the iOS version already. So 15 changes have already been done since we've launched. Google Play is coming out. Again, it's still a minimal viable product. We call it an MVP. So once Google Play is launched, we anticipate taking all the feedback that our users have been helping us with to evolve the app, and we intend including an expense management function, a chat function, potentially warehousing photos and having a log. So, this at some point, it intends to be a full digital ecosystem for families, co-parents, even startups and businesses to help them, with their day. So, like I said, we just launched, and we're well on our way. The app is well funded, and we are in a position to really disrupt this market.
Wow, well that's very exciting, and the Child Centered Divorce Network is very happy that you have been one of our supporters on our website, and also has been supporting International Child Centered Divorce Month, which if you're listening to this interview in January, you can take advantage of. Every January is International Child Centered Divorce Month, and we have a special website put up for parents, co-parents, those who are contemplating divorce or already divorced, where you can access complimentary gifts and services and resources from divorce experts on 4 continents around the world. So if you go to divorcedparentsupport.com/ebook, that again is divorced with an ED, divorcedparentsupport.com/ebook. You'll get to the website, and if you enter your email address, you can download my free ebook on post-divorce parenting and then get linked to a page where there are dozens of other complimentary gifts and services, coaching services, audio programs, and more for helping parents and families through and after the divorce process. And again, Moiety has been a sponsor and a supporter of the work we're doing, and we are so appreciative, Greg, for your support in understanding the value of our message for families.
Thank you, and it's been a pleasure to be a part of it, Rosalind. And I know that January is usually a heavy month for families going through potential transition. It seems to be one of the heavier months, and we are getting a number of inquiries from new users and existing users. I know that it's a difficult month, and we're happy to support you and your efforts and add this complimentary service, free service for families who need it, especially at this time.
Yes, well, thank you. And yes, you're right. January is the month where more divorces are filed than any other month of the year. Obviously, a lot of families wait till after the holiday season for starting this process, and so it's that time of the year, and having access to the Moiety app will make life that much easier for everyone involved in the process. So I want to make sure, Greg, that people know how to find you and the app, and what is the process for accessing it.
You can access the app. It's iOS only right now. It'll be on Android in about 6 weeks. You can access the app through our website, www.moietyyapp, MOIETY app.com, or just go to the App Store and type in Moiety. And of course, if there's any questions about how to use the app or you want enhancements, please contact us at support@Moietyapp, MOIETY app.com, and we have a very responsive team. The app is not mine, it's our clients, and we use client feedback to evolve the app. So we're very happy to hear feedback, good or bad. Any feedback is good. We've got an excellent rating so far, and we continue to improve the app every single day.
Oh, that's wonderful, and I'm very impressed with it, and I know the people I've spoken to who have found it on our website and used it have been as well. So this is definitely something that our listeners want to check out for yourself, and even if you're not going through divorce, as Greg said, that the Moiety app is useful in a multitude of applications in scheduling the realities of living life. So you could take advantage of it in a multitude of ways and use it within your own family for your children as well. So that's wonderful. Before we let you go, Greg, do you have any last words, any tips that you want to send our listeners off with regarding the app as a co-parenting tool?
Well, like I said, it's a free app. It's 100% mobile. It's 100% free. I know there are many users who might be using a co-parenting tool that's very expensive and probably not as effective using the newest of technology. You have a choice now. Feel free to use it. If you don't like it, give us a shout. If you do like it, give us a rating. We're here to make this work for everybody. Again, it's very flexible. It's absurdly simple to use. There's plenty of instructions right on the app, help screens, and the website itself has plenty of instructions on how to use it. Very flexible, and again, we're happy to take feedback, so don't be shy.
Well, that's wonderful. I appreciate that, and the fact that it's so user-friendly and that you're there caring about feedback from the users really makes a difference as well. So thank you, Greg Wagner. You've been listening to Greg talking about the Moiety app. That's Moiety. And you can pick that up now, and you can also see a link to it at my own website, which is childcentereddivorce.com. This is Rosalind Sadaka, founder of the Child-Centered Divorce Network, and I thank you for listening and hope you'll join us again at WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network, and the show is Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living. Till next time, bye-bye for now.